Welcome back. In the previous lesson, we saw how overthinking begins, how the mind tries to fill gaps when clarity is missing. Now we move further. Because those thoughts do not stay neutral, they begin to influence how you feel. And here is the question guiding this lesson. Why does repeated thinking start to create emotional instability? It starts with interpretation. You replay a moment, you assign meaning to it, and that meaning creates a reaction. Not to what is happening, but to what you think it means. Now look at what happens next. Each interpretation creates a different emotional response. One thought creates calm, another creates tension, another creates doubt. The situation itself has not changed, but your emotional state shifts. These emotional shifts feel real, immediate, valid. You might think something is wrong or something changed, and that feeling feels accurate. But look carefully. The source is not the situation, it is the interpretation. Each emotional reaction reinforces the thought that created it. You feel something, so it must be true. That belief strengthens the loop. Thoughts create emotion. Emotion confirms thought, and the cycle continues. Compare two people. Both experience the same situation. One remains steady, the other shifts emotionally throughout the day. The difference is not what is happening, but how often the mind reinterprets it. You see this across contexts. In relationships, mood shifts based on repeated thoughts. At work, emotions change depending on interpretation of feedback or silence. In social dynamics, perception drives emotional response. In each case, thinking creates instability. So return to the question, why does overthinking create emotional instability? Over the next few days, notice how your state changes without new information. When nothing external shifted, but something internal did. Observe the connection between thought and emotion. Because instability does not always come from what happens. It comes from how often it is reinterpreted. In the next lesson, we move into something even more direct. How emotional instability leads to stronger reactions and loss of control in behavior.